Hey guys, Joshua Peterson here, Peterson Electric. It is September 1st, 2020. Still in the midst of COVID, it sounds like. Here in Colorado, northern Colorado. For my SEO guide, this is going to be an attachment to my ADU. This is my fourth video for the underground service getting transferred over from overhead to underground. If you look for my other three videos, just look for the house that looks like this in the shed, and you'll see kind of the landscaping is the same. I had my Mini X parked here on one video. So last Monday, a little over a week ago, about 8 days ago, we got this buried. We had to have a conduit come down underground. It stubs up about right here, and they then came out today and put this in and put the overhead line, attached it. They pushed it through. Our secondary conduit's back up this way, and then there's two ground rods, one over there and one here, attached to that ground wire. Okay, the low voltage is right there as well. And then this goes right through here, this power. They sealed it today and gave their okay. And then remember in the new 2020 code, guys, if you're on it, we are. This permit was pulled just 3 months before the code, but I still put in surge protective devices on most of my service changes, so that was normal to me. This is feeding the house right here, and then this feeds that shed over there, and then right here the 3 breakers for the inside. This is going to be our future ADU and our 2-inch going back that way with my pull string. Okay, this does have the bypass lever. Mind you, Loveland Power makes you go underground if you're over 100 amp now. So 125, 150, or 200 amp, they were overhead, you have to go underground. Either way around it, I had to feed power out of this house, and I would have never passed inspection because my old meter was here, and here's my new old little panel with a couple circuits in it. You can still see the outline. That conduit went up and we caulked that, and then the old 1.25 inch PVC went down through here. My wife came up with this idea, who's filming me right now, just to put a blank cover cap to cover the hole so wasps stay out. And this was an old hole here too, where there was a bell box that was a pass-through, and it fed that bell box. And that was a 1/2 inch, and I put in a 3/4 knockout and a bigger conduit just so it was easier to pull. But I pulled through and I brought that down, and that fed 3 circuits in the house that had to be refed. And so I put an LLB fitting with the compression tight couplings, inter-system bonding bridge bar, 2 ground rods here as well. The inspector saw it and he remembered it today. That one was 30 inches deep, and that one was about 28 inches, a little more shallow there. We backfilled all of this. As you saw in the earlier video, we dug this out for the sewer. Once that was done, we backfilled it that way to dig out a hole this way to put this in, and then backfilled it all last Friday. This was about a 2-month ordeal to get this going. Today, we also had Loveland Power. They cut off the overhead drip loop, but I took out the mast and caulked the hole on top and bottom. And then this piece right here, there was 3 telephone lines, 2 were doing nothing. Well, it's more like his internet, I should say, slow internet. But that one can't come down yet. I cut the other 2. I just drove my van over and stood on top of it and cut them off. They were dead. There's no power on them whatsoever. So they're going to try to schedule this hopefully next week. Take that Comcast box and put it right over here. And then he'll have to refeed in to pick up his internet line because he only has one cable in the house. Maybe he'll pull a new line or just splice it inside there. And then this is their old idea of a ground. That'll go away. And then this right here will go away, of course, up head. And then you have to get repainted, but you cannot have a panel over a stairway. That's Article 240. But then Loveland Power says they don't want their meter box near a window. So we had to put it over here. You can't be within 3 foot of a window and 3 foot to the edge of the house. So that's the 4th video. We are now energized. We now brought power to their shed, and we'll get them 2 lights, and I'll do a video on that. But I brought over just 20 amp, 12 gauge, 240 volt with a ground to this box, GFI'd, extra hard duty cover, a deep bell box. And then I'm gonna go through and wire this up probably in a couple weeks. And we'll just get them a switch on the inside and get them an LED 1x4 and a 1x4 and then a plug. And you know, once the house is done, they'll be able to get some of this personal stuff out and actually use it as a shed. But meanwhile, we needed a plug for temp power because I don't want to set a temp pole. That's just a waste of time and money. So then the last step is to get the gas guy. The gas company's got to take that meter and take it off and put it on the new ADU and feed the house. So that line has to be upgraded larger. I don't know if they're direct boring it or trenching it, but you can see the yellow line right there as it matches my tire. The building's coming out to this rock, and you cannot have gas underneath, or electric for that matter, underneath the foundation. It's all got to move over about 15 foot and come this way. So the last 2 things, yep, coax, and then the underground gas. But they had to redo the sewer, the secondary power from Loveland into the home, the line, the load back out. We had to go power to the new ADU, or what we call the apartment above the garage, and then the new shed. And then we had the Comcast low voltage. So next will be low voltage down and gas getting finished. Then they can dig the foundation. This project started for us in May. 3 months. And a lot of it wasn't us. We got through our permits quick to get our power stuff done, but we had to get inspections on 2 separate permits. This being Cleveland and that being 12th Street for the new address. We had to have the underground done a certain way to inspect it because I needed 2 ground rods on that house, 2 ground rods on this house. Now, once I get my UFER in, I technically don't need 2 ground rods, but the trench is open, very cheap in the material. Might as well drop them in, get them inspected with my conduit. I prefer to have rods as well. Other than that, guys, yeah, so that's how it looks. We got the cap up there. Put a little trick of the trade, a 2-inch knockout indoor rated cap. Cocked around that and got it sealed. So no wasps, they're already trying to get up in there. But yeah, what a project, man. And we decided to dig that trench for them all the way out to that orange spot for their sewer. They just got quoted astronomical. And here in Loveland, you don't have to have a permit on a sewer repair. I think that's, right? That's just stupid. But any which way, we got it dug from 3 foot all the way to 4.5, and it was great. I got to put my conduit in it. But you cannot put gas in with all the other utilities. You can have water and electric together. Primary and secondary. Not primary Loveland Power, but primary to us, secondary back out to the garage. You can have it in the same trench as sewer and the low voltage. Gas completely separated. Gas has to be 6 foot from the edge of any electrical. Maybe other than a GFI outlet, but usually most of the time you don't see that. But like equipment, yeah, you can't have it near the gas within 6 foot. So please anticipate at this time with COVID, things are going to go longer. And that's kind of the nutshell of it. But they'll be digging this hopefully here within a month. We'll be into October. I'll probably be roughing it in December. I bid this back out in like April. maybe even end of March. So as you can see, if you're planning a project, you need to start at Thanksgiving to be ready to go by spring. Thanks guys for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.